Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Some of you may recall when I tried to make this castle in 30 minutes. Okay, we're already going. Anyway, as you may have seen, I was not able to do that, so this is me building the rest of the castle. Where we left off was where we were trying to decide what to put on the side of the castle so that you could actually get up inside of it. Yes, the rest of this is going to be a speed build, by the way. No real-time me reacting and then later putting in funny GIFs, which did not seem to be very popular. So maybe I won't do that. Maybe I will simply stick with this format for now. But anyway, the beautiful castle, the main structure of the outside of which was completed for the most part in the last one, there was no way to get inside. So we needed a way to get inside. So this little side bump out with a porch is how we're going to do that. Now, here is the staircase. Eventually, this inner part here becomes kind of like a small entrance hall. And I really actually kind of struggled a little with the doors because the castle estate doors are specifically for medieval wall height. And by medieval, of course, I do mean medium wall height. And I could not get it to look correct. And I tried to do the thing where you take the walls and you size them up with move objects on and then put the wall and then make them smaller again. And that did not work. So here, this was a big struggle because somehow my beautiful rounded room got screwed up and I had to redo it again. And I eventually did figure out how to do so, but it was not fun. So I had to basically redo all of those windows that you saw me put up in the last one, if you saw that one. But it was kind of maybe for the best because since I'd already done it once, I knew how to do it again, which is helpful. I guess that's kind of like life, isn't it? Once you do something once, you can only get better at it. Are you a therapist? Is that profound? Do you like that? Anyway, so now we're moving on to the bedroom section. Here's where you can see me playing with the wall height. And I'm like, tall wall height. No, yes, no, yes, no. Try to probably put another door. And then I did end up using this bed from Vampires. I almost used that other one you saw, which I think is from Get Famous. This is a very red, heavy build. As if you couldn't already tell from the outside. I guess royal purple would have been another option, but for some reason I was feeling drawn to doing the red color scheme, so that's what I did. I did have a lot of fun putting the curtains and the raised section and then putting the spandrels across in the middle. I seem to like doing that. There's just something about it that I think adds that extra level of detail. And it also adds, I've come to the realization that I think it gives things more of like an artistic feel as opposed to like a new build modern feel. There's just not a lot of like artistic details in new building in real life. And I think that the spandrels and all of the detail that I add as far as that goes really helps to, one, I guess it is realistic because you have like some structural support, but two, it just adds that level of detail that I think makes it, I don't know if elevated is the right word, because like you can certainly build a simpler house in The Sims without, additional spandrels or support beams, and it still looks just as nice, but in a different way. I guess it's just style. This is an artistic style that is being built in. All right, here we go. So this is like the main room. Kind of weird to think of like an open concept castle because I did kind of strive to like use candles and old-timey furniture in the decorating of this, or stuff that would like seem to be like, a period appliance or lighting fixture, or in this case, this sink, which actually matches up pretty well with these counters. I think these are from Horse Ranch, and the sink might be from there too. But I don't know. It's kind of weird because this is like almost. I was going to say it's almost modern. It's really not, because I did try to make it look like a castle. But there is going to be an actual toilet. So I guess this is kind of like a modern castle, or you could call it like almost, I guess, kind of like how folks would decorate like one of those themed Airbnbs, which I've personally yet to have gone to, which is kind of a shock considering how much I love a themed endeavor. Here's the little dining room corner, where I put in some rugs. And this is the entry hall where I put down this long rug here. I think I'm my own worst critic because I'm like, I feel like I've done stuff like this before, but I'm like, it's still really pretty. I don't know. Hopefully you folks like it. I do think I kind of popped up with this one. I really just kind of felt like I was just kind of vibing and just sort of letting inspiration strike. And I was like trying things. And if they didn't work, I was swapping that out for other things. I don't know. I had a lot of fun. It kind of felt similar to when I made the Whimsigoth cottage build a while back. Where I was just kind of like, oh, let's do this and just kind of like make the elements work, where it's kind of like I had like a very light sense of like an outside shape kind of, and then I just kind of had to make the rooms fit that. And I think that ultimately somehow made it look a little more curated and specific, even though like things are kind of like not quite, structured and straight. Like I do eventually, this couch here, you can see I put it at like an angle just to try to like make things seem a little like more cozy, and like there's a little bit more like what's the word, there's more of like an intentional like unalignment, I don't know, just like things are placed intentionally, and there's like a certain level of storytelling going on in the placement of the objects. I think I've talked about this before. That's kind of like how I thrive, Sims wise, is a lot of times I find that like I don't really play the game actively much anymore, but I do really love building spaces and like storytelling through the placement of the objects and the decorating, and being like, here's like the kind of person who lives here, which I think kind of leans into how people decorate in real life. You want to like sort of have a home where you walk in somewhere and you're like, oh, I know what this person is like. You know what I mean? Or like you can kind of, you're like, there's a life being lived here. I don't know. I just think it's kind of beautiful in a way. So here I am trying different kinds of spandrels. I think I do eventually go for wood. The stone one stays in the bedroom, and then I put the wood one here. And this is the little reading nook corner. And then I put up some curtains. I did end up going for red. There were other color swatches I could have done, like that, like sort of brownish cream one. I don't know, guys. I use like this particular drapey base game curtain in everything, just because I think it's kind of like the best thing we have, because it doesn't look like modern curtains. It looks more regal. It's got like more of like an artistry to it, because you're like draping fabric and using the flows and the folds, using the folds of the fabric to create the shape. And we're doing the bedroom here. This kind of gave me vibes of the Elphaba and Glinda dorm that I made quite some time ago, with the little like pockets and like desks and chairs. Up here we have this little tower. I tried my best to make like every like thing that you could see from the outside an actual usable space, to the best of my ability when I made this. Because I was like, okay, here's some little towers. It would be nice if you could actually use them. So this is like kind of like an upstairs kind of like secret library. You could decide, if you think this is like a magic user's home, if this is like a magic library upstairs. But I mean, how could you not have a room where the beautiful stained glass window upstairs is? Here's the entrance hall. And I had to like kind of like edit a little bit because I was like, well, we can't really have the pillars because they're in the way. Or we could have, but I would have had to place them with the tool mod. And to the best of my knowledge, it has not been updated for the most recent set of, what's the word? Of updates that we've had recently. Now that I'm watching this might be a little too fast build footage wise, but I'm going to not really dwell on it too much. This build, I guess, because it was very funny. I thought I could do it in 30 minutes. I can't do the level of detail I like to do in 30 minutes. I'm just going to have to accept that. There might be something I could do, but it would probably have to be something tiny, like a fortune teller's caravan or something. This is like another little tower. This is the second tower, the upstairs. I've decided that's kind of like a greenhouse area. And then I did end up doing a little bit of alt placing just to try to put things in the little bay windows. I do think I understand why, because they are windows, but I really wish that bay windows would let you slot things into them so we didn't have to custom place. Obviously, there are ways to do it, but it is a little frustrating. And here's the lower part of the turret of the castle. This is the paranormal stuff shelf. I think I was using it for a while and then I fell off and I'm back again. I love her. And then I did put one of the Bridgerton unlocks in the bathroom. I don't know why. For some reason I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's just a little bathroom, but it works. And then here I'm filling up the top of the fireplace for a hot second with things to make sure I can actually place things on the shelves. I didn't put a whole lot of stuff because, again, it would have required me using the tool mod and stuff and alt placing, and I didn't do that. Now we're moving outside and we're adding some embellishments to the exterior architecture. So we're doing some columns on the corners. I do end up putting these little fairy statues on a lot of corners to offset them, just to sort of give it that more romantic, fantasy, fantastical vibe. I almost said whimsical, and I'm trying not to say it as much because I feel like it's kind of a buzzword right now, even though I do relate to it and love it and try to live my life by whimsy, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I just feel as though everything is being capitalized right now, which we live in a capitalist society. I mean, look at EA. They are actively doing things purely for the purposes of making money, like the buyout that may or may not be happening, and also their potential use of AI, which people who know me in real life know that my stance on AI is very firm. I do not like it. And I'm talking specifically generative AI. I know that there are other forms of AI that have existed for quite some time, but generative AI are the ones that are having the data centers crop up and take our resources and speed up climate change and make things that were slated to happen in 2070 happen now. So, fun. Anyway, let's go back to the joys of this. I'm placing some decorations outside. You can see I put up some flowers on the wall. I love putting a creeping vine or a flower on the wall, guys. If you've been here for a while, you should know this by now. If you've not been here before, welcome. I hope you love this castle. So now we're doing the landscaping, and this was actually kind of fun because I was kind of like trying to toe the line. I'm like, are we going to do structured, very specific, like castle topiary and hedges, or are we going to do more of like an overgrown, whimsical look? Oh, there's whimsical again. Fun. Anyway, I think I kind of did a mix. I did a mix of both. And now we're moving on to the moat, or should I say the semi-moat. This has a Moat adjacent isn't right, but it's funny. Moat adjacent, not moat proper. It's really just more like a small side pond because there's not really any need to have a drawbridge here. I guess I've realized that like I really am fond of this lot in Windenburg. It's the like, what's it called? Mid Nowhere. I'm looking because I can see it in the upper left-hand corner of the lot because I haven't renamed this yet to put it on the gallery. I was playtesting last night, and one of my friends, we were talking on FaceTime, and I was like, look at this. And she was like, put it online. And I was like, I can't. I must finish the video first. I have to do voiceover. I have to edit. I have to upload it. But yeah, here's where you can see we're doing a little bit more of an overgrown vibe. And I'm doing a thing I haven't done for a while, which is kind of a shock, where you layer up bushes and then raise and lower them, like you alt place them to make it look like a larger bush. This is where I was really missing the tool mod right here, was trying to put the plants in the pond. So there's not as many plants in the pond as I probably would have generally put. Pardon me if you hear my iced coffee moving around. I am actively recording this voiceover before I have to log into my day job. So I'm having a little iced coffee. But yes, you can see that things are really starting to take shape here. This is the romantic garden overgrown fence, and I did swap it out for the white one as opposed to the red. I'm pretty sure that's what stays. So I kind of gave it like a sort of enclosed castle garden feel, and then I was struggling a little bit with how to paint the bottom of the pond, but I figured it out eventually. I did use those tall, are they cypress trees? I think they might be cypress trees in the corner, which I'm like trying to decide if that's a cop-out because I feel like a lot of people use them, but I don't know. There's something about the height of them and the width that is very pleasing design eye-wise for me. I guess you can really kind of see like my design. What's the word? I guess I've been doing this building in The Sims and stuff for a while, and also like decorating at home and whatnot for a while. I guess just everything that I have learned over like many years of trial and error is really like coming together in stuff like this when I really just kind of let my creative muscles flex. That sounds gross. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to say I'm proud of myself. And especially in this age where skills are really not praised, particular like in this age of AI and like this sort of, I guess this age of like instant gratification where we've got like same day shipping through Amazon, that it is just nice to appreciate things that take time and have passion and human effort behind them. You can't put a price tag on pride. So, you know, I don't know. Soapbox, I'm probably never actually going to get off of it. I feel very passionately about this, but I think passion is kind of what makes humans human. And I guess what's going on is like the active dehumanization of art, and not just art, of words and like creation. We're handing off creation to computers. Because obviously I'm using a computer to build this, but like this is just my method of using my own innate like skills. Well, not innate. Part of it is innate, sure, but like the skills I have curated to create this art piece. I mean, obviously, yes, it's a game and it's for fun and it is like for living a fantasy, but this is art. And, you know, I would not be as proud of this if I had just typed a bunch of words and had like a computer dream it up for me, because like it wouldn't look like this. There wouldn't be the process behind it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that there could be somebody who's going to pop in and be like, AI is only as good as the way you prompt it. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, I saw something that said AI is the past being framed as the future. Anyway, are you tired of me talking about my beliefs? I probably will never stop. But you can see here we're on the outside, and we're actually kind of approaching the end. There's about 2 minutes of speed build footage left. But right now, I am moving things about. And those chain items, the obelisk things, they go away eventually, and I opt to use the tiny gold fences, which are going around here. And you'll see they go around the front eventually too. I just tried to make it a little more cohesive to sort of like pull the metal throughout the outside with the landscaping. Although I do like those chain objects. I don't know. They are in the debug menu if you ever wanted to find them. And you decided you like them better, then we're clustering some bushes up here. This red rose bush is happening. I was trying to say, like, maybe this has a little bit of like Alice in Wonderland Red Queen vibes, but maybe not so much. Or maybe it's just red. You'll have to let me know in the comments, guys, because we are moving into the end. Love you. See you later. Bye-bye.